Hi, this is Ben119 and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be doing a 70-star beginner tutorial. So this is a pre-recorded run of a 70-star, and the final time I got was a 56.19. And if you're wondering why the time isn't that good, and it's because I do all beginner strats. There's no extremely advanced movement. I don't even do the triple jump at the start of Rainbow Ride. I try to keep it fairly beginner friendly throughout. So if you're getting into 70 star, this may teach you a few things, and you may find that it's actually easier than you think to get a half decent time. So just before we get into it, shout outs to Bluebob. Bluebob did something very similar before me. I'll link his video in the description. He basically did a beginner example run for 70 star and commentated over it, similar to what I'm doing here. But his run was way faster than mine. And there you go, we got Lakitu skip. You can go for Lakitu skip if you want, but you don't have to. It's only 8 seconds. But his run, the reason why his time was 4 minutes faster is because a lot of the movement and tricks he did were a lot harder than the tricks and movement I'm doing in this run. So right here, we enter Bob on Battlefield, and if you know the 70 route, you may notice my splits near the end are a little bit different, and I'll get to that in a bit. So we're not doing bomb clip. Now you can do, if you're confident with bomb clip, obviously go for it if you can get it. I'd say if you can get it 50% of the time or more, just go for it, because it's so close to the start of the run. But if you can't do bomb clip, I'd recommend just doing that, because it doesn't lose that much time over bomb clip, and it's really easy and consistent. So I'm not doing continue no save. Continue no save is slightly faster, but if you hit save and quit, it kills the run. I just think if you're a beginner, I think you shouldn't worry about things like that. You can definitely implement it later on, but if you're running on Virtual Console, you don't need to worry about that, because there's no lag on Virtual Console anyway. So we're going to get into Womp's Fortress, and the first time we're going to do is Cannonless. So you should do Cannonless first, because if you fail it, you're able to do Wild Blue as a backup. If you fail it again, you can maybe even do 100 coin as a backup. So we're going to do quite safe movement over to it. We're not going to do slope dive. Regular Cannonless setup. If you need any help doing Cannonless, there should be a lot of good tutorials on YouTube. If there isn't, I'll make one myself. But it's quite easy, you just have to do a certain setup. I used to struggle with it, but I'm actually really good at Cannonless now. So next star, I'm going to do Wild Blue. So when you're doing the 100 coin star, make sure you're past 3 stars. Don't be on 2 stars and do the 100 coin star. Because once you grab the star, you'll get a text box in the middle of the star and it'll kill your momentum. I just find it easier having to not worry about the text box. So that Wild Blue was quite fast. Your movement will just get faster over time. When you get more used to the controls, your movement will get a lot better. So this is 100 coin. This 100 coin route is very beginner friendly. I just came up with it just before making this. I don't do the weird thing in the Wild Blue area, because in the real route you wall kick up there, you get ring of coins, and then you like double jump dive up to that area. But this route is very beginner friendly. And as you can see, I made a few mistakes, and I still have plenty of time for the cycle. You can maybe even go for half cycle. If you're getting half cycle, you should probably learn the real 100 route. There we go. I like to kill this piranha, go into Mario Cam, wait for the blue coin. If you're not confident with that, line up the camera first before going across that bridge to get the coins. Kill this piranha, get this coin. Just side flip, wall jump dive. It's quite easy to get up there. You have quite a lot of leeway on that. If you're not confident at going fast on this section, you can take it a bit slower than I am, but there's no reason to go any slower, because I was going fairly slow there. There we go. That was like 20 seconds slower than the real route, I think. Maybe more, maybe less. I'm not sure how fast. It depends how fast you pull off the real route. There we go. It's quite an easy 100 route if you're learning 70 star. So then we just jump down to the regular star, and we only have 3 stars left in Womp's Fortress. So the route difference, I'm going to go on about that now. So In regular 70 star, you do Snowman's Land 52, then you do Hazy Maze Cave 58, then Rainbow Ride 62, and then TikTok Clock 70. But we have 2 extra stars before then, and that's because I'm going to cut out the Cruiser star from Rainbow Ride and the 100 coin star from TikTok Clock. Because even though both those stars are fairly fast, if you're new, they're not really that fast because they're really hard stars. So it's easier if you implement slightly slower stars that are easier, rather than doing those 2 stars. If you can do them at this point, then do that instead, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. There we go. And something I found when I was recording this, whenever I do things that are lower than my skill level, I feel like I make a lot less mistakes. In this run, I didn't make that many mistakes. I had no deaths and made no major mistakes. I had a few, obviously, movement mistakes. Everyone has that. But it's just funny because the time I got was a 56:19, and I thought that doing this route would be like barely sub 1 hour. There's a little movement mistake up here I slightly bonked. And I was thinking maybe I should re-record this because there are a few movement mistakes here and there. But then I was thinking if you're new to this game, you're probably going to make movement mistakes as well. So if the run had no mistakes, it wouldn't be entirely accurate to someone's run, because someone's run at this level would have a few mistakes anyway. So we're going to finish off with the Owl Star. Just doing the Owl instead of Owless. I think it's 5 seconds slower, but that's okay because Owless is pretty difficult. I wouldn't recommend learning it straight away. You can just practice it if you want for fun, but I wouldn't recommend doing it in runs straight away. So there we go, 654 Wumps, which is sub 7 somehow with that route. Like my average Wumps times are usually like 620 to 615, but that's with doing Bomb Clip and the half cycle 100 coin route and Owless, so that's different. But that just shows that you can actually still get a good Wumps without all that. It'd probably be like a 640 with Bomb Clip. But going into slides, I decided to do slide skip. Slide skip's one of the easiest skips in the game. It's really easy to learn, really consistent. Highly recommend learning it straight away, because it saves quite a bit of time both times. It probably saves, I'm not sure, probably 15 to 20 seconds both times combined. So it's really easy. If you're really, really not confident doing it, then maybe not. But I think if you're doing a full 70 star run, you'll probably be confident enough to do it. You might need to practice a little bit beforehand. There we go. Something I recommend practicing, especially when you want to improve your time, is castle movement. I never really thought about it much, but you'll be doing a lot of castle movement between stages, so definitely get that down, because you can save quite a bit of time. And this is going to be the first instance of ground pounding underneath a box. So whenever you see a box that has a star in it, always ground pound into it, because you'll be paused in midair during the cutscene and you'll fall straight to the ground with a star. But yeah, I went into Mario Cam there to reduce lag. If you don't go into Mario Cam, you'll lose a bit of time to lag. So yeah, I decided to include some lag reduction because lag reduction is not very hard to do, and I think anyone can do lag reduction. It's not like small 1 second time saves that are hard to do. I'm not implementing things like that because I don't see the point. There you go, I did the red coin star nice and safe. I didn't do the dive down method for the last 2 first. That's a text box skip. It's quite easy if you don't do the rollout method. You just jump on the switch and then jump to the star. You have a little bit of time to do it. There we go, you should have 11 stars, so we're going to enter the first Bowser stage. This is Bowser in the Dark World, and for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to do it quite a bit slower than how I normally would. So, here we go. This is not going to be ridiculously slow though, it's just going to be safer. So right here, I wait for this flame to go out before going on the switch, because you can get the switch beforehand, but there's a good chance you get burnt if you don't know what you're doing. So you want to get these first 2 reds. So I think if you want to follow this, you don't need to be really good at this game, but you still need to have some experience with things like triple jumps. You need to know how to wall jump. You need to know how to jump kick on slopes. You need to know things like that and how to handle the camera. But other than that, you don't really need any special skills to do this. So there we go. The camera in the Bowser stages are really good. Just keep it in latitude cam, C down, and you can just turn the camera left and right when you want. That double jump's easier than it looks, because you can land on that bit sticking out. And just dive down to the 8th red, nice and safe. You want a long jump, but you want to kind of long jump around the wall there, or you'll bonk the wall, and that's not good. There we go, that's dealt with reds. I'm not sure what cycle that was. I think that was two cycles or one cycle behind Shigeru's cycle. So probably like 8 seconds slower than a regular Dark World, which still isn't that bad, to be honest. I decided to show off the safety throw here. So if you're really new to this fight and you're really not confident with doing it in one throw, you can stop him near the bomb and then throw him again. Like that. So we're going to talk to him and get the key. So you should be at around 11 minutes. I think sub 11 may be possible if you do bomb clip and everything's really good up till this point. But I wouldn't really worry about sub 11 unless you're going for like a better time. If you're going for like a 55, 54, then sub 11. You'll probably be getting sub 11 at that point. If you long jump in here, like my regular Dark World time, I think on my PB it's like 10:25. So obviously this is quite a bit slower, but this isn't a PB attempt, this is a beginner route. This is Island Hop here. I decided to keep this in. I was like wondering whether I should put it in or not, but I decided to keep it in because it's honestly not that hard. And once you can do it, you'll be able to just do it every time. It's not very hard to get down. I think you should just know this. You need to triple jump after you've slid all the way down the slope. You'll have way more momentum that way. And make sure you jump kick to the peak height of the slope to get more momentum. Just practice it. If you're really not that confident with doing it, then just don't include it. Or you could go on the mountain and then fly to the island that way. So now we're going to Cool Mountain. So we're going to do wall kicks to work first. We're going to do the beginner friendly method by jumping down and jump kicking near the bottom, rather than backflip wall kicking off that wall. There we go. This is not even that hard. You just have to wall kick between the walls. But I can't really say much. I can because I'm quite good at that star, but you'll just get it down. Like with a few tries, you'll get a feel for where you need to side flip and wall kick. So right here, I went for the triple jump for the penguin, but for some reason I missed it, so I went in the slide instead. I like doing that because the penguin's position is slightly different, so I'd rather go in the slide. Because I'd probably lose time trying to pick up the penguin, because he wouldn't be exactly the same. So that slide skip's pretty easy. You just long jump onto the slide, hold right. And at the bottom, I tried to do the method where you slide across the wall and then go into the door, but I've slightly missed it because my angle was off. It's not that big of a deal if you miss it, it's just a cool little time save if you get it though. I wouldn't worry about it too much unless you're trying to knock down your PB by a bit. If you don't have sub-hour already, I wouldn't worry about that. So this is another way of getting the penguin. You just climb this tree, then hold left and grab him. It's really easy. You go down the slope. Now just make sure you are facing more to... Make sure you're just facing straight, obviously, when you go onto that slope, but if your angle's too bad, you'll sometimes go into a diving position on it, and that's not good. So just make sure your angle's alright. Practice that a few times, and you'll have it down. There is a really beginner way of doing it by sliding down to the left and ground pounding down near where the mum penguin is, but that's quite a bit slower. I didn't want to show that off because that main penguin method's really easy anyway. So we're doing Cool Mountain 100 coin with penguin race. So this is a beginner tutorial, so I decided to add in the blue coin switch for safety. So you'll have extra coins here, you'll have 27 coins. I think at this point, without the blue coin switch, I think you only have 21 coins if you get safety red as well. Without safety red, it's only 19. You gotta be careful. I meant to triple there, but I ended up pressing the button too early, so it didn't count. Oh well. Talk to the penguin. and just go down the slide. Now on the slide, you'll probably need to practice the slide a few times, but my advice is don't go too slow, because people worry about going too fast and falling off, but if you don't have enough momentum on some of these corners, especially these two coming up, you can fall off really easily. Just make sure you have enough momentum going into these corners. So there we go. Make sure you have 85 or 86 when you get to this end bit, because there's 15 coins. Make sure to finish the race, turn around, and then get the star. If you get the star, then the penguin will beat you and knock you off, and you'll die. And even if the penguin somehow doesn't knock you off, you'll lose the race. So you have to go across the finish line, then talk to the penguin, and you'll have won. So that is Cool Mountain completed. Just about sub 16. So that's very good. I think in my PB, my Cool Mountain, I think it was just sub 15. I think it was a 14:59. So 1 minute off my PB. My PB is a 52:46, by the way, so this is obviously 56 pace, because I'm probably going to lose about a minute in each 15 minutes of the run compared to my PB. That makes sense with these tricks. It's a Big Boo Hunt. Big Boo Hunt is quite an easy stage, especially the first star. The Boo Star, I know, gives some beginners problems, but I'll talk you through that in a minute. So for this star, you just walk it up to this door. Then you just want to do a side flip dive, or you could do a double jump dive. I prefer the side flip dive because it's more consistent, you get more height. And I just make sure you get enough height on the dive or you won't make it over the banister. If you do it just right, you can actually clip the banister, then double jump ground pound right into the star, but I wouldn't worry about that too much. Thing about boos, I didn't know this until I ran the game, but you actually ground pound into them to kill them. You don't have to punch them. I think there's other ways of killing them as well, by sliding. So I just triple jump up to that door, side flip wall kick up to this door, and then I just go through these double doors. So if you pay attention right here, I'm going to ground pound into the boot and get him stuck in this corner. And I can just kill him in this corner. It's really, really easy. He won't move as long as you're punching him. Now the roof here, I don't have much advice. You kind of just have to mess with it yourself. But when you're on slopes, when you see Mario start to slow down in his momentum, change your direction, and then it'll slide down on his bum, and then you're able to jump. Because when Mario slides on his belly, you're not able to jump. So make sure that never happens on the roof, because if he slides on his belly, there's a good chance he'll fall off the roof entirely, and you'll have to go all the way back up. So there we go, Big Boo Hunt's done. We only do 2 stars there. Now, I'm in Mario Cam. I'm used to being in Mario Cam, maybe try it in Mario Cam. But we're going to catch Mips, so you just want to do 3 rollouts, and on the third one you'll catch him. If you miss Mips, do not carry on chasing him unless he goes towards Shifting Sun. If he goes towards Shifting Sun Land, then try and get him there. If you miss him again, just put him off until after you've done Lethal Lava Land, and then after Lethal Lava Land, catch him on the way to Dada Docks. That's the quickest backup you can do. So this bird star here, this is another star I decided to keep in. I was gonna do this the slower way, but it's honestly not that bad if you practice it the Shy Guy way, the way I just did it. You could probably find a tutorial, but my advice is to stick to the right side of that pillar because the Shy Guy won't move as often. And don't do a full length long jump. Midway through your long jump, kind of hold back a bit so you don't go all the way forward, because I sometimes overshoot the Shy Guy. And when you're spinning on a Shy Guy, you can hold the A button to stay in the air longer. You might not know that. So I'm going to triple jump to where the shell is. Now, my shell movement isn't the best. I've never been that good at this shell movement. I'm used to doing pillarless at the moment because I've started to do pillarless in my runs because it saves. I'm not sure how much it saves over the shell, but I also did pillarless just because I found the shell so annoying. Because the shell can sometimes break on the pillars, and if it does, you just have to run and finish the pillars yourself. Just get inside the pyramid and long jump towards the star. You should be on 23 stars. And we got one more to get in Shifting Sun Land, which is the main pyramid star on the outside of the pyramid, which is one of the easiest stars in the whole run. So just jump kick to the side, triple over the slope, and then dive at the peak height of the triple, and triple up here. You can carry the momentum over from the triple jump dive to another double triple up the pyramid, but I thought that would be a little bit too advanced, so I decided not to do that in this run. So there we go, a 20-minute shift in Sandland. You could probably get sub 20 if you're fast. If you do everything I've just done with no mistakes, you could probably get like a 1950, maybe even a 1940. So Lethal Lava Land, doing the red coins. Red coins is probably the easiest star in the level. You shouldn't really lose time to it. That's quite an easy way of doing it. Use lava boost, and then you long jump onto the area with the red coins and just dive to get each one. Now I'm going to be doing triple jump wing cap. What's it called? I don't even know the name of the strat. I know it's called logless when you do it with the triple jump without the wing cap on the other side. But this is just it with the wing cap. So you want to stand on this flat part and just do a triple jump. And you can fly over and then just ground pound with the stars. You can clip the fence, but I wouldn't recommend it because you can easily hit the fence and fall in the lava. You can triple jump on your way to it, but it's a bit finicky, especially if you don't have much momentum. So starting out, I'd recommend stopping on the flat bit and then triple jumping. Okay, so next bit, I'm going to be doing the 2 volcano stars. Now, there is volcano movement you can do to get to the volcano, but starting out, I just recommend doing that because the volcano movement's a little bit complicated and you're probably best off just doing that for now and then doing the volcano movement when you're better. And then just dive off the top of the pole. If you want to wait for that flame to pass you before jumping, you can. I'm just so used to not having to think about that cycle because I usually get there earlier. But if you want to wait for that, you can. That's completely fine. Just go into the stage again. We're going to do the next volcano star. And there is a trick called lava boost where you can boost off the lava, but I decided not to do it because it doesn't save that much time if you're doing it the beginner way. If you know how to do lava boost already and you're fairly consistent at it, then do it. But if you have no idea, just run up the volcano the normal way. To me, I think doing lava boost is faster for me because obviously I'm better at lava boost than running up the volcano. I've not got as much practice at doing that, but you'll get there in the end. There you go. Miss the ground pound. It's a bit annoying when you miss ground pounds. I don't know, it's just unsatisfying. But you always want to ground pound underneath stars when you can, like that. There are some stars where you don't want to do that, like stars that are really low down already. You can just jump into them or even walk into them. But ground pounding underneath a star basically makes you touch the ground quicker, and when you touch the ground, the animation plays. So you can long jump off that fire spit thing and get to this bully. Now, the important thing about bullies is whatever way you're facing when you damage them is what way they'll go. So he went into the lava because I was facing the lava there. If you're really not confident at long jumping on the fire spit block thing, then you could lava boost over to the platform. The only problem is if you get knocked off by the bully, you're gonna die because you won't have enough health. The final star in Lethal Lava Land, which is Bully the Bullies, which is a really tough star when you're learning 70. I still have problems with it now. I can still sometimes lose easily 10 seconds on it if I don't pay attention. I think I lost a bit of time on it here, but that's alright. So you go. I knocked 2 of them off. This bully's a bit annoying. I think I punched too early there, so I had to hit him 2 more times rather than 1 more time. Then you want to side flip around there and ground pound, and the big bully will just go straight in. The big bully's really easy to deal with. There you go, Lethal Lava Land done. 24:11, I think that is. Yep, 24:11. You can maybe get sub 24 if you have a good run at this point. This run isn't perfect at this point, plus it doesn't do bomb clip. There you go. I like to go into Mario Cam for a lot of the castle movement. I don't know why. I'm not sure if anyone else does that. I'm a bit weird. There we go. We're going to head to the 30-star door. So obviously grab MIPS on the way back there. However, I was on about the island hop star before, and if you really can't do that star fast, you'll be on 29 stars. So instead of doing Shift in Sandland, you'll swap that with doing Hazy Maze Cave, and then you'll do Shift in Sandland later instead of Hazy Maze Cave later, because you'll have more stars at this point. So starting out, we're going to do the chest star. So I think when you're first doing this star, just memorize where the chests are. And the main thing you want to know about this is chests only open when you're facing them and you swim into them. So you have to be facing the chest for it to open. If you're wondering why I take such a tight line here, it's just so I can turn Mario easily and open the chest. You can go closer, but the closer you go, the harder it is to turn fast and the more risk you have of missing the chest or even dying. There we go. The important thing to know about swimming levels, especially for beginners, focus on your swimming all the time. Try not to drop a swim, because when you lose your swimming momentum, you lose a lot of time. I'd recommend actually learning swimming, not just spamming the A button. Spamming the A button doesn't really do much good, because, I don't know, it just doesn't. Just learn proper swimming, and you'll get better at it over time. So now we're going to do the submarine star. You want to do the chest star before submarine star, because the entrance to this level moves further back after this star. So right here, I am holding C left, and that's to reduce lag from the submarine. If you're playing on Virtual Console, you don't need to worry about this because there's no lag, but that's a lag reduction thing we do, and that's to keep it off screen so it doesn't cause as much lag. As you could tell, there was a bit of lag when I was on there. I am playing on an emulator, so there is a lot less lag, but there is still lag, so you want to reduce it where you can. There you go, straight into Fire Sea. Now, I like to do the Manta Ray Star after Fire Sea, it's just personal preference. So I'm doing Fire Sea here. Now, I was struggling with this Fire Sea because I wanted to make it beginner friendly. Now, I just wanted to get normal cycle. I was obviously not going for fast cycle because fast cycle was out of the question. Because fast cycle, I struggle to get that now in my runs. Normal cycle is fairly easy to get. See, I'm making quite a few mistakes here, and I still managed to get normal cycle just fine. So you can play like this, and you'll still get normal cycle. So note here, side flip and do 3 wall kicks on that wall. You could try triple jumping and just doing 2 to save a bit of time. Right there I missed that, but I love boosted up. This is normal cycle, it is, I think it's 15 or 20 seconds slower than fast cycle. And then there's lava boost early alley cycle, which I've only ever done once in practice, that's how hard it is. Like fast cycle I've done a few times, I think I've done it in runs even. But lava boost early alleys, I just have never done it. I've done it once in practice, I've never done it in runs or anything, that's how hard it is and precise it is. Right at the end, I touch the heart and then dive into the lava to get 2 lava boosts to the 8th red. Now the faster you run through a heart, the more health it will recover quicker. So if you run through it really slow, you may die if you're low on health already. Just keep that in mind. So we're about to enter the second Bowser fight. And around this point, this is usually the halfway point of your 70-star run. I think of Fire Sea as the halfway point, because we're at 28 minutes, and the run is 56 minutes, so this second fight's the halfway point. There you go, grab Bowser. If you're wondering how I managed to grab him like that, I stored a grab. I kind of grabbed his tail, but I missed. And I took damage, and then I stood in front of him and faced forward, and I'm able to grab him because I stored a grab. It's really weird. You can just grab him normally. I just did that to show off, because something you may not have known. Right here I do the Manta Ray Star, and then I go upstairs. I have a split for the upstairs door, and not the Fire Sea key. I know most people have it on the Fire Sea key, but I'm used to 120 star having an upstairs time, so I like 70 to have an upstairs time. It's nice to see what time is. Swim through these rings. These rings can be a little bit annoying. Just practice this. You should get it fine. But if you miss the rings, it can be really annoying because you have to keep swimming through other rings. It doesn't always count them correctly. Maybe save the chest star if you're really not comfortable with doing that, and then do the chest star if you miss a ring. So go into Fire Sea, exit out, so then you're back in the main lobby, and then go through the key door. So my upstairs time was a mid-29. I think in my 52, my PB had a 27 upstairs time, so I'm 2 minutes off PB, and I think the world record's upstairs time is 25 minutes. So it's crazy how the world record's 4 minutes faster than this, but it shows that you can save time. You can maybe even get 28 upstairs time with this route. You did everything perfect, you get like a high 28. So now I'm going to be doing Wet Dry World 100 coin. Wet Dry World 100's quite easy once you get it down. Main thing is don't miss any blues right here. Make sure to kill the spider during the blue coin switch animation, unless he's near the switch at first, then kill him then. Get the secrets through these blocks. Stand in the middle because the secret activates in the middle quicker than it does on the side. You can triple up to this bit here. The main thing you want to be doing in this level is practicing the camera movement at the same time, because I noticed even until recently I lost a lot of time because my camera angles were quite bad in this star. But if you practice the camera angles, you'll get good at the star. Like right here I'm in Mario Cam, see down this bit is a pain if you're not in Mario Cam, the bit coming up. So I'm going to grab the chuck here and throw him and you get 5 coins. Now this whole route is 101 coins. So you can miss 1 coin in this whole route. Actually at the end there's a box on the left that has 3 coins. So if you do miss the spider thing, or you do miss more stars, not stars, coins from the boxes, there are 3 coins there as a backup, but just try and collect all the coins. The only reason I missed that 1 coin at the end because I knew I had enough. So there's 3 more stars in this level. This level's fairly easy. I know. It's a fairly easy level. This star here, you don't have to do it as fast as I do it here. But this slope, you want to press the dive button and then the rollout button straight away. And you get loads of speed. Long jump to that platform and then ground pound underneath the star. Long jump into that platform is actually not as hard as it looks. You can get away with being not on the edge and still getting it. But try and long jump as close to the edge as possible. And make sure you have a bit of momentum. But yeah, make sure you jump in the bottom of the painting. Like right there, I was a bit slow. Because I was trying to make my jump really low so I wouldn't go in medium height. I wall kick and triple jump up the slope. I go around, press switch. But this is actually a really good wet dry world. Even if I was doing a PV attempt, this would actually be a good wet dry world, even with beginner tricks. After this point, it probably wouldn't be. But on this elevator here, you can wall kick between these 2 walls, but I decided to play it really safe. I just waited on the elevator until it got to the top, and then I jumped to the star. You can wall kick. It saves a few seconds, obviously, but if you miss it, it can be a nightmare, because you can sometimes miss the elevator entirely and have to go all the way back to the top again. So if you're not confident with doing that, you can just wait on it, it's fine. The thing is, the camera makes it a bit awkward with the wall kicks, so you have to be careful there. Right there, I push against the wall before going in the warp because it makes you warp quicker. And then I jump and ground pound underneath the box. You can land on the platform then ground pound under the box if you're not confident with that. But I just ground pound because I'm confident. There we go, 33 wet dry world, not bad. Like I was saying, you could probably get 32 if this is perfect. And now we're entering Tiny Huge Island. This is quite a short stage, it's only a 2-minute stage. There's 3 stars still, and one of them is quite hard. The first star here is quite hard, secrets. There's 5 secrets, and I'm doing the beginner-friendly secret route. Just practice your movement here. Sorry if that was a bit loud. Long jump there. Just make sure not to go in the water because the water's slow, and make sure not to touch any of the flames. There's quite a lot of flames. Then go to the 5th secret. You can do a slope jump over to the star, but I'm not doing it here because it's quite risky for a beginner strat. I'm just going to go down to the switch and get the star that way. The slope jump's not very hard once you've done it a few times, but it's really scary, especially on a good run. Even if you know how to do it, like I know how to do it easily, I can still sometimes mess it up on good runs. I think I messed it up in my 120 PB. My 156.16, it would have been a 155 if that hadn't happened, so that was annoying. That was my fault. So we're going to go into the pipe. Just make sure not to ledge grab on the side of the pipe, don't waste any time. I'm going to slide flip up here. This is not the fastest movement. You can triple jump up that slope and get on, but that can be a bit awkward. And then get to this star in the box. Like again, ground pounding underneath the box to get the star quicker. We're at 41 stars, 1 more star in this level, which is going to be the piranha plant star. Now the piranha plant star is quite hard at first, but once you understand how it works, you'll probably get a lot better at it. and you'll probably find it quite easy. I think I messed it up a tiny bit here, but that's only because I was trying to go slower than usual to do it, because that's what I'm doing on a lot of these stuff. I'm going a little bit slower than usual so you don't miss anything. Like that. You want to slide kick into each piranha. Make sure not to fall off because you can't really get back up quickly. I had a little bit of trouble with that 5th piranha. Ground pound underneath the star. Very good, and that is Tiny Huge Island done. We're at 35-30 at this point. That's not bad. Now we're going to head to Tall Mountain. So Tall Mountain is 6 stars, but it's only a 3.5 minute level. It's quite weird actually. One of the stars is actually a toad star. Let's play why. It's quite short because one of them's a toad star, thinking about it. There you go. One of the easiest stars in the whole game. You just want to wait for Toad's animation to fully go into colour before talking to him. Then you'll definitely talk to him straight away rather than punch him. First star in Total Mountain. We're going to do Mountain Clip. I thought about Mountain Clip again as one of those tricks. Should you do it? Should you not? Yes, you should. It's not very hard. I make it look a bit easy here, but just watch a Mountain Clip tutorial. Practice it a bit and you'll get it down. It's much faster than going the regular way. It saves a lot of time, plus you do it twice. It's a really helpful trick to know because you do it 3 times in 120. It's just not that hard and you'll get it down. 2 other things I want to mention. That slope. I was just holding the A button down the whole time and just mashing the jump kick button, and I managed to get up there just fine. And the slide kick into the waterfall. Just slide kick. Aim towards the ledge and Mario will grab it every time. It's that easy. You won't ever miss the ledge if you have the right angle. And your angle isn't even have to be that precise. It could be slightly off and you can still get it. The more advanced way of doing that is wall kicking a certain wall, getting in there. It only saves a few seconds and it's quite easy to miss. So I'd recommend just that beginner strat. This wall kick as well, I used to have problems with it. Make sure you get a lot of height from your side flip for wall kicking, because sometimes I go too close to the wall and I don't get enough height for the ledge grab and I have to re-wall kick 2 or 3 times. It's a bit annoying, loses time. Only 3 stars left on this level. I think I went for box jump now. Yeah, I did. Box jump. You can do a Mario Cam setup on the way, but I decided to do a camera setup, so I faced the camera around there, lined up Mario. You want to hold back on the first 2, and in between, like the second bounce and the start of the third, you want to hold directly right, and you'll get onto it. Again, if that wasn't clear enough, and if you still need help doing that trick, there's probably a lot of good tutorials. Like I was saying, if you can't find any good ones, I'll happily make one. I'd love to make some tutorials for this game, because I don't think I've really done that. Total Mountain Reds, one of my favourite stars in the game to do single star runs of, but right here I'm playing it very safe. I'm moving quite slow compared to how I normally would. I get this 7th thread. I'm just going to do some safe movement to get to the 8th thread. There you go, wall kick off that wall to get to the 8th thread. Star should appear, and just fall down and dive onto where the star is. It's quite a big target, the mushroom, so even if you miss, you'll most likely land on the mushroom. I think even if you miss the mushroom, I think there are some breezes around there, so you may get lifted up if you're lucky. And last star, which is the slide star, but obviously we're not going to do the slide because that takes ages. This wouldn't even be a question whether to put it in semi-star if you had to do the slide, because it just wouldn't be. Just go to the edge and jump kick backwards and you can get the star. Just make sure to do it optimally and make sure you have enough speed. The further you are right, the less room you'll have. So just keep that in mind when you're learning it. And there you go, Total Mountain done in 39 minutes. Probably 38 if you have a perfect run up to this point. Snowman's Land. Now Snowman's Land, I do a lot of the stars differently. I do Snowman's Head the regular beginner way. But the box star and the red coin star, I take a different route because I take a more beginner friendly route. Right there I managed to back it up because I knew I didn't have enough height. If you know you don't have enough height, just hold back, because if you commit to it and you miss, you'll fall down. And you'll fall on all those slopes. That star is another one you'll need to practice. Once you get it down, you can probably do it consistently. Next star, which will be the red coin star. So I'm going to take this way round. This way round isn't that much slower than going the triple jump way. And I just think this way is much more beginner friendly than triple jumping over that green grey slope. What's it called? Because you can like do jump kicks on it and slide on it, but it's really weird to get used to. You can do that if you want. Maybe you should, so then you get more experience at it for when you're lowering your time. But if you just want to get sub 1 and you're not bothered about doing that, just stick to doing this movement because this movement's really easy and consistent. So red coins, in the proper 70 route, we don't usually do red coins because it's slightly too slow. In Haze Maze Caves, you'll see the Toxic Maze star as well, which we don't usually do because that's slightly too slow, but I'm doing these 2 stars instead of 2 hard stars in Tippy, so that's why I'm doing them. This bully here, just dive onto the ice platform and face him, and Mario will just slide into the bully. Don't roll out until the bully's been knocked off. Roll out, hold back, and then go towards the star as it's spawning, and you'll get it. There you go. 2 more stars in Snowman's Land. We're gonna get the box star now. So just take the same movement around the level as we did before. I accidentally ground pounded there. That may happen to you sometimes when you're doing long jumps. I think it's more to do with slopes, but when you don't have any momentum and you try and long jump, Mario will ground pound. You'll get used to doing it. Something you may need to learn as well, which I maybe should have mentioned way earlier on, is quick long jumps. So quick long jumps is when you long jump out of pretty much no momentum. So you'll just have to practice the timing of that, because if you do it too early, you won't get the long jump. If you do it too late, you might have done it too late for something. Like, this is nothing to do with 70 star, but LBLJ. You have to do a quick long jump. That requires quick long jumps. And there we go, Snowman's Land done. 42. Obviously could be a 41. Yeah, I'd say if you are sub 45 at this point, you should be able to get sub 1 fairly easily. I think that's a good time to aim for. I think in my 70 PB, I was at 30. I was barely sub 40 at this point. I was like 39 something. So 42, I guess, is pretty good. I think on average in my 70 runs, I'm like 40 minutes, not 39. It's just my PB was really good. My 52. I don't think I'll beat it. I've not got it on YouTube, by the way. It was unrecorded, sadly. My best recorded run on YouTube is a 54. I may get back into 70 star soon and try and beat my actual PB. But there you go. I forgot to talk over that MIPS star. So with that MIPS star, when I got that MIPS, I swear it's harder than the first MIPS. I swear that MIPS is slightly faster. You just want to do the same method and make sure not to mess up any of the dives. Get the Toad Star and enter Haze Maze Cave. Something else I might not have mentioned in Snowman's Land is the Ice Block Star, you know, where the star's inside that little ice maze. I just did it the casual way. I didn't triple jump on top of it, because if you triple jump on top and miss, you lose a lot of time. I got this star. There is a way you can do it where it saves half a second. We triple jump up to that star, but that can be inconsistent because if you ledge grab, it's the same speed. If you don't get enough height, you'll mostly die. So I decided to just do that the easy way. Nice and easy. That long jump there on the edge of the hole looks scary until you actually do it. And that other long jump there on the slope, that may look really hard and high level, but trust me, that is one of the easiest things you'll learn in this game. I didn't even do that until, not recently, but maybe like a year ago, because I always thought that was a really high level long jump. I thought it had to be on a really precise part of that slope, but it's not. It's really easy. You just hold forward, long jump, and then just long jump as soon as you hit the slope, and you'll get it every time. Super easy. And this, I believe this is a star I do Toxic Maze. So I do Toxic Maze right now. I would never usually do this in 70 star because this star's too slow for 70, but for the beginner route, there's no reason why not. It's quite an easy star. It's quite fast still. I think this used to be in the old 70 route. I think it is good for races as well. And I think maybe it's good for marathons even. Because it cuts out hard star in TikTok clock. So you go just side flip dive into the star when you're at the top. You can triple jump through that ceiling to get to the star a little bit faster, but if you miss it, you'll fall off completely. So I decided to play it really safe there to show you how to do it. And 2 more stars in HMC. So we're going to be doing the Dinosaur Star and the Christmas Miracle Star. So Christmas Miracle, I'm going to show that off. I think I show it off now. This run's pre-recorded, by the way, if you weren't listening at the start, so I'm talking over it. Yeah, you triple jump, and at peak height, just fall onto the switch, and if you hit it in the right way, it'll activate the gate. If you miss it, go up to the red gate, and double jump, and then do a jump kick, and you'll fly back into the water and activate the switch. So just learn that back up, get that back up, because you may not get it every time. Fuzziness has talked a lot about it. A Christmas Miracle, he always talks about it at marathon runs, so any marathon run where Fuzziness is on the couch, just watch and he'll talk about it if you want to know more how it works. And final star in this level, we do the nice easy elevator clip to get down to the island. The advanced way of doing that is triple box triple, whatever you call it. I'm learning box triple at the moment. It saves a bit of time because you have to go through that door. And you can just triple jump over that wall a bit like with Christmas Miracle, but you do it on the left side of the wall, not the right side. There we go, 46 HMC. Very good. Maybe you get sub 46. Well, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Heading up to Tippy now. So we've only got 10 stars left in the run, heading to Tippy. So we only get 3 stars in Rainbow Ride instead of 4. And we get 6 stars in TikTok Clock instead of 7. We're basically cutting out the 2 hardest stars in the route. Because 1, they're hard. And 2, you'll just have a better time because you'll be more consistent up to this point. Because you'll be doing 2 easier stars. And at this point in the run, especially on PB pace, it's really easy to mess up. Okay, so right here, I go for the pole. Now, I do not attempt the triple jump to the moving platforms on any of them. Because the triple jump is quite risky and it's easy to die. So just make it onto this moving platform. Jump over this flame and get the star. That moving platform, even if you're 3 seconds later than I was, you can still long jump onto it and make the cycle. If you are worried that you won't make the cycle, then maybe go for tricky triangles instead. Because there's no cycle-based stuff going on with tricky triangles. This long jump, I'm going to quickly talk about this long jump here. Not this one, but the one up here where you long jump over. You basically just want to long jump into this wall here. You don't have to perfectly time it. Mario will keep all his speed on that wall and then just do a long jump as soon as he touches the ground, and he'll have loads of momentum and he'll easily grab that ledge over there. That ledge grab onto those platforms look hard, but they're not. Tricky triangles right there, just copy what I did. You'll probably be comfortable with the movement. If you're going for sub-hour in this game, you'll probably know how to jump kick and everything. You should be comfortable with everything at this point. Even if you're just learning, you'll probably be fairly comfortable if you're attempting a 70 run. The last star in Rainbow Ride is the red coin star. So the regular way of doing this red coin star is doing like a long jump wall kick into this wall, and you kind of go around the ledge above. I decided not to keep that in because I thought it was a bit too advanced. So I did that method instead. Just did those wall kicks. They're easier than they look. You don't have to hold in any direction. You just wall kick each time. You get it. These red coins here. Sorry if my movement's a little bit fast. You could slow this down at first, and then you'll get faster over time. It's just that I've done it over probably 200 times in my life. That's in runs, probably. So I'm really confident with doing it. And there you go, we got a 49 Rainbow Ride. If you get a 49 Rainbow Ride, and you have a good TikTok clock and Sky, you could probably get a 55. I was on 55 pace at this point, but I ended up missing a throw in Sky, and I missed a strat in Sky. And my TikTok clock wasn't the cleanest, so I ended up getting a low 56 in the end, which is still good for this example. But a 55 is really easy with these tricks. It's actually surprising how easy a 55 is. I always thought a 55 was super hard until doing this. I feel bad when I do my regular route and make so many mistakes that I get worse than this time. Because it shows that I shouldn't even be doing what I do sometimes. when I do everything right, it's great. Okay, TikTok clock. I'm doing Stomp on the Thwomp. You can go a lot faster than I'm going at the moment, but I'm going a bit slow just so you can see what everything is and how everything's working. Oh yeah, I made a mistake on this here. I got up to where the star was and I fell off the Thwomp's head. That was annoying. And I missed this triple jump, so I didn't even get the other Thwomp cycle. I had to wait again. There you go, don't do what I did. But the triple jump near the start, you know there's like 3 blocks that usually rotate when time's moving. There's usually a triple, you do a triple up to that. I'll talk about it in a minute because you'll see it again in a minute. But basically during the triple, you kind of want to neutral, you don't want to hold fully forward because you won't get enough height from the actual triple jump. It's really weird to explain and you'll get a feel for it. Right there, you saw I hit an invisible wall. That's why I don't do the regular method on this, because it's quite hard and sometimes you hit invisibles. I don't like messing with invisibles. That's triple jump right there. I held back slightly during the actual triple, so I could get up there. And now I'm doing time jumps on moving bars. This is the easy method. The hard method is where you wall kick off the wall and dive in the cage with only touching the top bar. But you can just jump on the bars and get it just fine. So with only 4 stars left. I'm gonna do fairly safe movement to get up the clock every time. You can go the left side with time stopped, but if you're not very fast at it, this method's much faster. You can just jump kick up these things, and it's really easy to get up every time. This long jump, you can long jump over to this star and get it. Right there, I just did that for a bit of fun. You can jump kick the wall behind the star and get it on the same frame, and you'll fly backwards. Obviously, it's a little bit slower, I just wanted to show that off. But jump kicking up those things are actually quite easy to do. If you're going around the regular way and you don't long jump wall kick into like a certain part, it's just slower. Just do this instead. This way is really easy. I think the old world record used to do this, even like super old, not like recent, but 8 odd years ago I think the world record did that. Go up here, long jump over to this one and get the star. You may see some top runners dive into that cage for the star, but that only really works if the clock is moving. And if you miss the dive, you can fall all the way down. So just stop and then jump in. Just neutralize for a second, then jump in. Doesn't hurt to lose a tiny bit of time for safety. I do prioritize a lot of safe movement in this run, as you've seen. I don't do anything super risky because if you do something risky and fail it, you'll most likely die or lose a lot of time, and I didn't want to have anything like that in this tutorial. So getting the second to last star. So just wall kick up to this platform, turn around and long jump, and then ground pound underneath it. And we've got 1 star left, which is the red coin star. So you should be jumping in on 12 for every single star. But this one's especially important because you're not really able to do it if you're not on 12. You can do it if you know how to do moving reds, but moving reds is extremely hard and really slow if you miss it. Clock, hands. Something's important when you're jumping in, the painting. Make sure it's exactly on 12 because the window for it being on 12 and being on 9 and 3, the window for 9 and 3 is much bigger than the window for 12. So it's really important you get it on 12 when you want it on 12. And there we go, we've got all 70 stars, 53.42. So now we just got to do Bowser in the Sky. So if you have a really good sky at this point and miss 0 throws, you could probably get a high 55 with this. But I ended up getting a low 56 because I made a small mistake in Sky and I missed a throw. So I'll show you how to do Sky right now. By the way, if you found this run really helpful, please like and comment if you have any questions. I'd love to answer them. And I'd wish to know what else I missed, because I probably missed a few small things during all this. Just go around here. You can slow it down a bit if you find this a bit too fast. Just make one of the elevator cycles. Triple up this thing. You could jump kick if you don't get enough height from the triple. I do not go for left side right here. I do left side normally, but I don't go for it here because I think it's way too risky for a beginner strat. It's not even close to a beginner strat. You can go for this triple here to the pole, but I never do it because in 70 I do left side, and in 120 there's a completely different strat to get into that pole, so I had no reason to practice it, so I missed it by a bit. So you can just climb that pole instead. I wouldn't recommend trying to get back onto that pole unless you know how to do it quick. Because if you don't know how to do it quick, it's really slow. Right here, you don't need to do this long jump. I think I just did this long jump because I was a bit behind because I messed up that thing. You can just go to the left and go on the platform normally. I recommend actually doing that as a beginner. And right now is the final fight. So there's no perfect way of doing this fight. There's no way of getting it perfect every time. But I like to line the camera up with this bomb. I missed the first throw. I make sure to grab him. Make sure not to grab him straight away, or you'll do a really fast fling, and he'll go flying everywhere. So just grab him when you get him. Throw him into this bomb. There you go. Second throw. Wait for him to stop, and then pick him up. 1, because it's easier to pick him up, and 2, because he'll be closer to this bomb right here. So throw him into the bomb. Wait for him to stop again. Pick him up. And you want to aim for this bomb here on the right. And you should get it. There you go. Only 1 missed throw. And that is a 56-19. So if you enjoyed this and found it really helpful, please like the video, like I said. And please subscribe if you're new around here. I will link Bluebob's in the description. Bluebob did something similar to what I did here, but his was 3.5 minutes faster. But a lot of the tricks he did were a lot harder, the tricks in this run. And when I did this run, like I was saying, it really surprised me. I thought I was barely going to get sub-hour with this, but I managed to get a low 56, and a high 55 is really viable as well. So it just shows you don't need to learn anything insane to get a good time in this game. So there you go. They're the splits there if you want to screenshot them and compare. Goodbye.